I started selling on Amazon for the same reason most people do. I wanted to start my own business, work from home, make money while I sleep. My Amazon venture started as a part-time side hustle. I was still working a full-time job at the time. A majority of my spare time was spent reading how to sell on Amazon guides and dreaming of awesome products to sell. It took only a few weeks before I had my first product in an Amazon warehouse, and I was ready to sell. I was live. This was supposed to be a big milestone for me in my online business journey. However, I quickly realized I still had a lot to learn. The mistakes I made when I first started Amazon cost me about $10,000 in sales and a lot of missed opportunities. All of this happened in my first year of business and wore me down to the point where I thought I was going to quit. So today, of course, we're going to be talking about beginners' mistakes on Amazon. Everyone who starts selling online is going to make some mistakes along the way. It's just the way the process goes. It's how you learn. But you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. That's why I'm sharing with you the mistakes I first made when I started selling on Amazon. I truly want your Amazon experience to be as smooth and good as possible, to make you feel like you're really living your dream, or at least reaching that. So if you can avoid these common mistakes, you'll be well on the road to success. Mistake number 1, I didn't do enough market research. Lying awake at night and dreaming of the perfect product to sell is nice, but actually investing the time in finding that product is essential. I did too much of the former and not enough of the latter. This is a common mistake. I had great ideas of products to sell, things that were popular, things that were related to my own interests, all that good stuff. The first product I sold on Amazon was a trending product, which meant that it was currently in high demand. I thought I was onto a winner and that the product would be super easy to sell. However, I failed to research the product and my competitors adequately. I saw the product was popular, but I neglected to look at how many people were selling it. So if I'd actually spent time looking through Amazon and looking at tools like Google Trends and SaleHoo's research labs, I would have found out that the product already peaked and was going downward. If you want to avoid this mistake, make sure you do plenty of market research up front. Make sure you understand your niche inside out. And then once you're sure it's a winner, proceed with confidence. Mistake number 2, I didn't focus on items with high profit margins. I was new to self-employment and I didn't know a lot about sales and economics. I assumed that if I sold a product for a profit, then my bank account balance would go up and I'd make money. However, I made the mistake of not taking all my expenses into account. I knew about the obvious expenses like shipping costs and basic Amazon fees, but I didn't take a closer look at the cost of fulfillment by Amazon doing picking, packing, and shipping. And on top of that, customer service. Once all the expenses were counted for, I was only making a couple of dollars per sale. And I thought, this is a ripoff. See, getting only a couple of dollars per sale might be manageable if you have a lot of items you're selling every day, but when you're just starting out, it's a little bit tougher. If I had a tool like SaleHoo Labs at the beginning, I could have found products that have a higher profit margin. This would have put me at a much better position from the get-go, knowing that each sale was paying for itself and making me a profit. By choosing a product with a low profit margin, less than 20%, I was missing out on thousands of dollars, which is a bummer. Mistake number 3, I didn't engage in any price competition. This mistake was partially a symptom of mistake number 2, but yet it was a mistake nonetheless. Price competition is selling the same or similar item for a slightly lower price to get a greater share of the market. It is sometimes seen as a race to the bottom. However, it would have been helpful for me if I had this competitive edge when I first started selling on Amazon. I had to list my product at the same price as the competition in order to make even a little profit. In fact, my price wasn't even the cheapest one on Amazon. People could have gotten the same product for a slightly lower price. As you can probably tell, this isn't a great strategy when you're starting out. If my product had a higher profit margin, I could have shaved off a little bit of the price and still made a good profit. I probably would have made a lot more sales that way. Mistake number 4, I didn't read Amazon's policies. I was so excited about getting my products out on Amazon that I forgot to pay close attention to the selling policies. This was a rookie mistake that could have led to my Amazon business being suspended before it even got started. Amazon's policies are quite strict, and they have been known to terminate sellers' accounts for infractions. I made 2 relatively small mistakes that were in breach of Amazon's policies when I first started selling. The first mistake was including an email address in my listing, which is prohibited. The second mistake was using promotional text in my product images, which is a big no-no. Thankfully, Amazon just sent me a policy warning, and I was able to amend my listings without facing any major consequences. Needless to say, I spent the rest of the next day reading all of Amazon's policies to make sure I didn't put my business at risk again. Amazon's Quick Start Style Guide is a good place for new sellers to start out. Mistake number 5, I didn't create a brand. Jumping into a crowded market with a generic product is a mistake I would avoid if I could do it all again. Putting in time up front to create a brand and a private label product would have added value to my product and helped me stand out. Instead, my product floundered on Amazon. It didn't stand out, and so there was no reason why people should pick my product over anybody else's. It wasn't special. Just like my mom always told me I wasn't special. That mistake is one I've since corrected, and I've had great success selling labeled products on Amazon. Having a brand also gives you something unique to market. You have a story and an ethos surrounding your brand that wouldn't surround just a regular product. Learn from my mistakes and consider private labeling from the beginning. Mistake number 6. I thought I couldn't compete with experienced sellers. Amazon can be an intimidating place when you're first starting out. Some sellers have been there for years and sold thousands of items and have thousands of 5-star reviews. The mistake I made was thinking that I couldn't compete with them, and that mindset provided me an excuse for my poor performance in my early days. I told myself that I couldn't do anything about it because the other sellers had so many more advantages over me. I used this to let myself off the hook, which was lame. Because guess what? All sellers on Amazon start from zero. Since my first year of selling on Amazon, I've realized that there are other things I can do to establish credibility. You don't need hundreds of sales or 5-star reviews to start having success on Amazon. And here's a tip for you. A simple way to establish credibility is to have a professionally designed website and logo. Anything that makes your business seem more legitimate will give customers more reason to buy from you, especially if you don't have a lot of reviews already. Mistake number 7, I didn't ask my customers to leave reviews. Following on from my last mistake, even when I did make sales, I failed to ask customers to leave reviews. This is a common mistake that beginners make on Amazon. I was so caught up in making sure everything was running smoothly and that the other tasks were being done that I failed to ask them for reviews. And frankly, I was also kind of worried about what kind of feedback they would give me. I was just starting out and I couldn't handle getting negative reviews right off the bat. And Amazon sends emails asking customers for reviews. I thought that was enough. However, it's advantageous to follow up with customers personally and ask them to leave a review. Now remember, Amazon's policies forbid you from offering incentives for reviews or asking for a positive review. The best way to get more reviews is to send a follow-up email to each customer thanking them for their business and gently asking them for a review. Make it as easy as possible for them by including a link to the review page. Having positive reviews on Amazon is a big advantage, and it's a mistake to not ask for them when you first start out. Mistake number 8, I didn't invest in quality copy and photography. When I first started selling, I completely underestimated the power of good copy and good photography. To start off, photography and writing aren't really my strong points, but I should have put more effort in anyway. This mistake meant that my Amazon listing looked just like all the others. Why should customers click on mine? What made mine so special? Having a great listing on Amazon is essential because it's your only opportunity to convince the buyer to choose you. Unlike a traditional retail store, you don't have the opportunity to build rapport in person. Your listing is all you've got, and a buyer's going to make a decision within seconds of seeing it. That's why good photography and sales copy are so important. By failing to invest in this in the beginning, I potentially missed out on sales. Mistake number 9, I didn't know who my ideal customer was. When I first started selling on Amazon, I didn't know the many complexities of e-commerce. Something I've learned since then is the importance of knowing who your ideal customer is. When you know who you're selling to, you can customize your listings to speak directly to them. In marketing, this concept is called buyer personas. Buyer personas are fictional, generalized representations of your ideal customers. Businesses often have several buyer personas to help them understand the market. They're often developed and refined over the years, but you can create a buyer persona before you even list on Amazon. The way of doing this is thinking about who is most likely to buy your product and why. Then write down a generic description of this person. Include as much detail as possible, including what their motivation and what their deal breakers might be. Having buyer personas can make your sales copy so much better because it's like you're really talking to them, and then they're going to want to buy from you. Mistake number 10. I didn't have a solid marketing strategy. I thought marketing strategies were for big corporations with a lot of staff and massive budgets. But I was wrong. When I first started selling on Amazon, I didn't have any marketing strategy at all. I assumed that if people wanted my product, they would buy it. What I didn't realize was that I could help people find my product and convince them that they wanted it. Not realizing this was a major mistake, and I quickly realized that the top sellers on Amazon were investing heavily in marketing. I've since used social media marketing on Pinterest and Facebook, as well as content marketing and SEO on my own website to drive Amazon sales. It doesn't have to be complex, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. What's important is that you have a marketing plan from the get-go and adapt it as your business grows. Guys, there's no reason why you have to reinvent the wheel. If you see my mistakes and realize, oh, I'm doing some of those, then fix them. You know how to now. Get your businesses off the ground and have them be awesome. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope I helped you out. Remember to subscribe to our channel to get updates on more videos. And hey, check out our ebook. The link is in the description below. I wish you the best of luck in your dropshipping ventures.